Xi Jinping's return to Xiong'an, laying the groundwork for another term, or mourning a ghost city. This is Jersey's news commentary channel. Recently, Xi Jinping once again visited Xiong'an, emphasizing that the central decision has been completely correct and that phased achievements have been made. This scene evokes a strong intuition and imagination. This is not an ordinary inspection, but rather a political act laden with symbolic meaning, possibly hinting at a deeper political intention. Some say Xi is laying the groundwork for seeking a fourth term, or making a political declaration. Whether that is true or not remains unclear. Regardless of what he thinks or plans, in my view, his visit to Xiong'an is nothing more than paying respects at the grave of a ghost city. Since Xiong'an was established in 2017, this so-called millennium plan has been nothing more than a product of political will. Xi intended to erect a monument to his own achievements, yet reality has instead handed him a political tomb. Xiong'an was a political project from the start. The official explanation is to relieve Beijing's non-capital functions and ease big city problems. On the surface, this sounds somewhat reasonable, but it is merely a facade. The real underlying logic is that Xi wanted to create a historical landmark comparable to Deng Xiaoping's Shenzhen and Shanghai's Pudong. But here lies the problem: Shenzhen and Pudong were products of reform and opening up, while Xiong'an is a product of political will. The former relies on the market, the latter relies on power. That difference determines their divergent destinies. Shenzhen succeeded because reform unleashed forces, people and capital flowed involuntarily. Xiong'an, by contrast, relies on coercion, forcing people and institutions to move in. And what has been the result? The past few years have already provided the answer. Universities are unwilling to relocate as a whole. Hospitals proceed with extreme caution. State-owned enterprises set up token branches to check the box. A real city is never built by political will or administrative orders. It grows naturally out of geography, economic laws, and social dynamics. The signs of failure appeared early. Many believe Xiong'an's problems surfaced in 2023, but in reality, structural issues had already emerged by 2019 to 2020. At that time, land was frozen, but people did not come. Investment was massive, but returns were uncertain. Policies were dense, but the market remained indifferent. In other words, this millennium plan ran into serious trouble within just 3 years. The 2023 floods in Zhuozhou, Hebei, further magnified the problems surrounding Xiong'an. To protect Xi's face-saving project, water was allegedly diverted, flooding Zhuozhou. Tens of thousands of lives were swallowed by the disaster, yet tightly censored by the authorities. But truth cannot be covered forever. Xiong'an sits more than 20 meters lower in elevation than Zhuozhou. Local residents all know this. Why was Xiong'an spared while Zhuozhou was flooded? Was it fate, or man-made disaster? Even though public discourse has been repeatedly suppressed, common sense cannot be suppressed. People began to re-examine Xiong'an's geographic flaws and its ecological and safety logic. When a plan violates natural laws, economic laws, and social laws, when it is forcibly pushed forward by political will, the cost and consequences will inevitably arrive. 9 years of inspections reveal a clear political trajectory. If we line up Xi's visits to Xiong'an, a clear pattern emerges. 2017, setting the tone, launching the political project. 2019, stabilizing the narrative, preventing doubt. 2021, forcing visible progress, the city must take shape. 2023, personal endorsement, shoring up confidence amid economic decline. March 2026, another visit, another symposium, another reaffirmation the direction is correct. This sends a crucial signal: the more something must be repeatedly declared correct, the more likely reality has gone off track, and the greater the invisible pressure. Though Xi now holds supreme power and no one dares challenge him openly, everyone carries their own judgment. The gap between blueprint and reality. The blueprint for Xiong'an was grand, a population of over 1 million. A national model city. Trillions in investment. But reality tells a different story. The population remains far below projections, less than 5% of targets. Buildings stand in clusters, roads extend in all directions, yet industries are absent, and people are scarce. By day, it resembles an empty city. By night, it becomes a ghost city. Trillions have been poured in, left to sit under the sun, flowing silently away. This is Xi Jinping's so-called millennium plan. The real meaning of this latest visit. If one interprets this visit merely as an inspection, that would be superficial. In fact, this is a highly unusual political act. It is clearly an effort to reinforce a predetermined narrative. More importantly, the timing carries special significance. Amid increasingly complex domestic and international conditions, speculation about future power arrangements is already emerging. Xiong'an, in this context, is a highly symbolic political marker. Therefore, this visit is likely not just about endorsing Xiong'an, it is about sending a deeper signal: the Xiong'an project must continue. And what does that imply? That established policies cannot be changed, established decisions cannot be overturned, and established power must be extended. In other words, this is Xi laying the groundwork for a longer-term grip on power, potentially a fourth term. He is using the unfinished Millennium project as a political metaphor. History must be completed, therefore power must continue. Xiong'an has become a symbol that cannot fail. Today, Xiong'an is no longer just a new district. It has become a political symbol. A proof of a chosen path. A pillar of power narrative. Which means it cannot fail and it cannot be defined as a failure. Yet from any reasonable perspective, if one is neither blind nor deaf, the conclusion is obvious: Xiong'an has failed. It is a stalled project. It is a dead city, a ghost city. Qi. Conclusion: mourning or reinforcement. So, is this visit a mourning ritual? In my view, Xi Jinping is paying respects at the grave of a ghost city. But in his own eyes, he ignores the trillions wasted, ignores the ghost city, ignores the dead city, ignores the staggering waste. This visit is not about mourning. It is about reinforcing the political facade of a dead project. Isn't that absurd? But in truth, under Xi Jinping, China itself has become a theater of absurdity, a grotesque realm where reality is bent, and illusion is enforced.